Okay, should be live. We shall see. It seems like I am. Okay. And I am. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Smoothie with Chloe in the morning. I didn't put enough smoothie in my, or enough banana in my smoothie. And you could always tell, like, it's not creamy enough and, like, it's a bit too icy. I don't know. But not sweet enough, all that stuff. But it's all right. I'm blessed to be able to have such a wonderful breakfast. It is 10:44 in the morning, November 4th. I love you, Amory. I'm going to start saying that at the beginning of all my streams because I miss you lots. And today I'm going to be starting at chapter 3.5 in the Cryptography Engineering textbook, going through real block ciphers. I'm going to do less intros these days. I'm going to be getting right into the notes a lot more often. I have decided that for now I am going to continue taking notes on this text and going through the Coursera textbook, trying to at least spend my mornings doing notes, my afternoons doing Coursera, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays hopefully doing Rust programming exercises. This is the goal, starting Monday of next week, moving forward. And yeah, next Wednesday I am flying, and so I'll be a bit busy. But let's get started. So 3.5, real block ciphers. There are hundreds of block ciphers that have been proposed over the years. It is very easy to design a new block cipher. It is fiendishly hard to design a good block cipher. We're not really talking about security. That a block cipher has to be secure goes without saying. Building a secure block cipher is a challenge unto itself, but it becomes even more difficult to create a block cipher that is efficient in a wide variety of different applications. So I think that's pretty much why it's difficult. So it is very difficult to create a block cipher that is efficient in a wide variety of different applications. Okay. We previously said that we'd give up performance for security. We would. When possible, we still prefer both. Designing block ciphers can be fun and educational, but one shouldn't use an unknown cipher in a real system. So this is the whole idea of, like, hopefully where the study group will hopefully be is, like, it can be fun and educational to build your own block cipher, and I think that's hopefully what we're going to be doing a bit. But then, yeah, don't use it for real, right? Which hopefully we can figure out how to do. The cryptographic community doesn't trust a cipher until it has been reviewed thoroughly by other experts. A basic prerequisite, so that, I think that's like, the cryptographic community doesn't trust a cipher in a real system. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. Until it has been reviewed thoroughly by other experts. Oh, I can't type. That's all right. Experts. A basic prerequisite is that the cipher has been published, but this is not enough. There are so many ciphers out there that few get any effective peer review. There are so many ciphers out there that, oh my gosh, few get any effective peer review. I need to get more used to this keyboard. You are much better off using one of the well-known ciphers that already has been reviewed for you. Virtually all block ciphers consist of several repetitions of a weak block cipher known as a round. So this is actually something that confused me the first time I read through this, but it's such like a simple sentence. Virtually all block ciphers consist of several repetitions of a weak block cipher known as a... So this is something that I don't know why. The first time I was reading through this or going through this concept, not very long ago, mind you, I just didn't get it. I was looking at the graphs. I was like, what's a round? Several of these weak... I think that's an important thing to remember as well. These rounds are each weak, but several of these weak rounds in sequence... Oh my gosh. Leave me alone. Oh, I should join that. And make a strong cipher. Oh, sorry. Strong block cipher. So hopefully this is like, we learned about like, okay, what's a ciphertext and all this, and like, what's a block cipher, and then like, if you have, you know, a block cipher has several repetitions of weak block ciphers. So with a weak block cipher, several of them, several rounds, gives you a strong block cipher. Very fun stuff. It's like, it all comes together like Legos. This structure is easy to design and implement, and is also a great help in the analysis. Most attacks on block ciphers begin by attacking versions with a reduced number of rounds. So I think that's relatively important. Most attacks on block ciphers begin by attacking versions with a reduced number of rounds. I keep forgetting that I'm not even on camera, so I can just like look down at my keyboard while I type and not misspell things. I always like look up and read while I type. Not very efficient for spelling things correctly. As the attacks improve, more and more rounds can be attacked. Interesting. We will discuss several block ciphers in more detail, but we won't define them exhaustively. The full specifications can be found in the references or on the internet. We will instead concentrate on the overall structure and the properties of each cipher. Okay, so now, whoops. We're going to get into the ciphers. DES. Whoops. The venerable workhorse of cryptography. The data, I should just write the name of it. The data encryption standard, has finally outlived its usefulness. Its restricted key size of, restricted key size of 56 bits and small block size of 64 bits make it unsuitable, sorry, for today's fast computers and large amounts of... So, I mean, if you don't read anything else, you can just read that and hopefully just move on. But that's kind of why it doesn't work. We're going to go into the specifics of why soon, but it's good to learn. I don't know, there's triple des or 3 des or whatever. I think I always called it 3 des, but now I think hearing it's supposed to be called triple des or triple DES, whatever. It survives, whoops, what is going on here? Survives, whoops, which I'm not even sure is secure anymore, triple des. So I'm going to put like an asterisk there. In the form of 3 des, let's see. Okay, triple DES, which is a block cipher built from 3 DES in sequence. Not sure this is still used. I think, well, AES is here too, but I think, whatever, it doesn't matter. I think at this, I'm just put an asterisk. All the things where I'm like, I don't know if this is still like the actual thing. Like, should we be teaching people that DES is still actually used, or just teaching them about like how it works? Because I don't know if it actually survives, but this did come after it. I do want to talk about it though. Encrypt with DES with 156-bit key. Okay. Decrypt with a second 56-bit key. Simple enough. And then encrypt again. Okay. Either with the first key or a third key sounds safer, but third 56-bit key. So you encrypt it and then decrypt it with a second key, and then encrypt it again, either the first key or a third key. I don't know why. That's apparently why am I having such a hard time? Solves immediate. I think that's how you spell immediate. Solves the most immediate problem of small key size, but there is no known fix for the small block size. Okay. I guess that's important too. Fix for small block size. DS is not a particularly fast cipher by current standards, and 3DS is 1/3 the speed. You will still find DS in many systems, but we do not recommend using any of them. Yeah, okay. However, a classical design worth studying in its own right. I think this is like the main part I got of this. Should be used in today's systems, but classical design worth studying. Okay, so like, trying to do this whole full sentence thing is like systems of studying. So I feel like these. Okay, let's see. Figure 3.1 gives an overview of a single round of DES. This is a line diagram of DES computations. You will commonly find diagrams like this in cryptographic literature. Each block computes a particular function, and the lines show which value is used where. There are a few standard conventions. The XOR or exclusive OR operation, sometimes called bitwise addition or addition without carry, is shown in formulas as the XOR operator, and in figures as a large version of the XOR operator. You might also find drawings that include integer additions, which are often drawn to look like the integer addition square plus thingy operator. Okay, so you're going to have a left input and a right input, I guess the bits, and they're going to come in, and then there's going to be a function which is going to expand the bits and XOR it with a key, and then do so. Oh yeah. They're gonna do some sort of what's it called? Shoot, I can't remember the name of it. They do something, the S, shoot, and then they bit shuffle. Yeah, and then you XOR it again, and you go again. This is one round. The forgetting the S is gonna kill me. Now I know I'm gonna have to note. But anyways, I do think this picture is worth. Where's my screenshot? Selection. Take a screenshot. I feel like these pictures. Oh wait, bigger picture or smaller picture? The point was a smaller picture would blow it up larger. I think. I can't remember if I'm right anymore. But copy to clipboard. And let's see if this works. Yes! I told him to go somewhere else. And I think it went here. Yep. This is the one. Yes! I put it in the right spot. That was really cool. I like when things work. You know, how they're supposed to. Anyways, that was just a little personal goodness. But yeah, now it's easy to see what's going on. And I always like having, in textbooks, it always tells you what's going on and then shows you. I always like seeing what's going on and seeing if I can understand it and then explaining, because it says it right there, structure of a single round of DES, which means after all this reading of the textbook, hopefully I'd be able to be, okay, what's R, what's L, what's this thing, what's happening here, I don't know, okay, what did I get wrong? And then quickly read what's going on. So you know, Fig 3.1 gives an overview of, I mean, okay, it's too obvious. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, that's too like. Okay, give me some fun stuff. There you go. DES has a 64-bit plain text, 2 32-bit halves, and this is kind of hopefully explaining where you get the left and the right from, like where these bits are being put in. So now you're like, oh, if you didn't understand the diagram, you're like, oh, obviously, 64 bits split into 2 halves, left and right. This is done by rearranging the bits in a semi-ordered fashion. Nobody seems to know why the designers bothered to rearrange the bits of the plaintext. It has no cryptographic effect, but that's how DES is defined. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the expand. Oh, expand. I think that's the expand part I wasn't understanding before. I think I'm gonna write it for now and just see if it actually fits. So expand oh, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me just read longer and go back. I thought it was. Okay. DX is 16 round. Okay, well, I'm going to keep going. DES has 16 rounds. Let's see if I can do this. R under bracket I shoot I dot or 1 dot 16. Does that look cute? Let's see. Aww, looks so cute. But I think I actually need like more. I think they would write it with more brackets. But let's just say for me, that's good enough for now. I'm happy with that until I have to fix it because that's not proper. I feel like I want to see like there's not a lot of math in this textbook. It's like very approachable, which I like. But then I'm like, I don't understand how to write things if I don't see the math as much. So I'm going to the other textbook for that. But anyways. Because, yeah, it's a set. It's a set of rounds. And then it doesn't like it. Nope. because of that. No, it really doesn't like it. No. No, it really doesn't like having the 2. Anyways, each round I uses separate 40. You know, oops. Each round I uses. Oh, the expand is expanding the key. Gosh. My bad. Now I remember. Let's just not talk about the top of it. Okay. Okay, each key, each I uses a separate. I can't spell separate. Every time I spell separate. 48-bit round key. K. I. Actually, I feel like this is all like. Anyways, that's fine. DX each round I uses a separate 48-bit key. And then let's just talk about rounds. Each round is formed by round is formed. Let's just keep it simple. Honestly, to me, like, it's simpler to have the math than to have all these words. It's confusing. So each of these rounds is each round I uses a separate no, round K of I. Is that gonna work? No way. No way. For each round, each K, I don't even think that makes sense. I think that's incorrect. Yeah, that's just more complicated than it has to be. For each round key is formed by okay, and this selection is different for each round key. Each round has a different selection method. I want to be very clear because that was something that confused me as well. And like seeing the actual boxes of selection boxes. Oh, is that the S? The selection? Ha! There you go. Selection boxes. Use OR and then do selection. Yeah. And selection is different for each round key. The algorithm that derives these round keys from the main block cipher key is called the key schedule. The algo that derives the round like the K for the round Okay. It's taking me a while today. It's a long day. Not drinking my smoothie, that's the real problem, right? Okay. Round I transforms the LR pair into a new LR pair under control of the round key KI. Most of the work is done by the round function f shown in the dash box. As shown in the figure, the R value is first produced by an expand function, which duplicates the number of bits to produce. Okay, yeah, this is the part that was confusing. Expand. I always forget where I am. Function duplicates a number of bits to produce 48 bits of output from the 38-bit input. So basically, let's see. So that's what expanding does. You put a 32-bit input from the L or the from the R. It expands it, and now you have a 48-bit output. That's the part that is important to remember. There's obviously specifics of how it works, which I'm not trying to get into with the notes because I'll forget anyways. And this part's all like what you can see, but that 32-bit input is, I don't know how you do the XOR, so I might as well just look it up, I guess. XOR? Why aren't you there? I might as well just look it up then. Opulus Rift. Just trying to practice with okay, the result is XORed with and yeah, because you need the input to be XORed with something of the same length. Wait, what? Ugh. R invalid produced to expand function, which duplicates the number of bits to produce. Ugh, sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm tired. Expand. Output is XORed with 48-bit KI. Result is used in the S box tables. S box is having a hard time. Substitution box. And basically, it's a lookup table that is, I can't remember honestly, trying to read it takes longer. I can just write it. Usually I try and read it because, where are we? As you cannot build a lookup table with 48 input bits, The S boxes consist of 8 small lookup tables. Okay, this is part is consist of 8 small lookup. This is stuff I always forget. Lookup tables, each maps 6 bits to 4 bits. This brings the result size back to 32 bits. Okay. So the 32 bits go to the bit shuffle. So these 32 bits are then swapped around by the bit shuffle function before being XORed into the left value. Finally, the values of L and R are swapped. This entire computation is repeated 16 times for a single DES encryption. The entire computation, the basic structure of DES is called the Feistel construction. So this basic I feel like I should just put a link there. I don't feel like I put enough links when I'm doing this, because like that's completely. Let me just start doing that in general. So much easier, because I'm not going to remember what that. I know what it is, and like it's pretty straightforward, but this is what this confused me. This confused me. It confused the crap out of me. I'm assuming a lot of stuff's gonna do that as I go further into this book. It's been relatively straightforward so far, but okay. FEISTE. Oh, I did it. It is a really elegant idea. Each round crossing of XORing L with the function of the round key, and the round key and R. Sorry, for some function F, and then swapping L and R. The beauty of the construction is that decryption requires exactly the same set of operations as encryption. Elegant block cipher. Decryption requires exactly the same set of operations as encryption. It also means that you only have to analyze one of the two functions, as they are almost identical. A final trick used in most Feistel ciphers is to leave out the swap after the last round, which makes the encryption and decryption functions identical, except for the order of the round keys. This is particularly nice for hardware implementations, as they can use the same circuit to compute both encryptions and decryptions. That seems like a very specific side note. Most leave out swap after last round, so hardware implementations can use same circuit. Man, I love spell check. I don't know how I live without it. Honestly, that was the number one thing to make me switch. HackMD didn't HackMD didn't have proper spell check, man. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, I don't care. The different parts of the DES cipher have different functions. The Feistel structure makes the cipher design simpler and ensures that the two halves, left and right, are mixed together. Zoring the key material ensures that the key and the data are mixed, which is the whole point of the cipher, to kind of, take the data and mix it up. So you can't know what's happening with it. Hide the data with the key. The X boxes provide non-linearity, which is actually like the key part apparently. So the X boxes actually, I'm just going to put it up here, provide linearity. Without them, the cipher could be written as a bunch of binary additions. Easy mathematical attack. Yeah, okay. Important non-linearity apparently is a word, and there you go. Finally, the combination of the X box, expand, and bit shuffle functions provide okay, well, that you need to give me the combination of the S box, expand, and bit. Well, the bit shuffle wasn't that important, but functions provide diffusion. Ensure that if one bit is changed in the input of F, more than one bit is changed in the output of I don't know why I was gonna. In the next round, there will be more bit changes and even more in the round after that, etc. Without good diffusion, a small change in the plaintext would lead to a small change in the ciphertext, which would be very easy to detect. So you can see where the diffusion is important and where the rounds are important. DES has a number of, or DES, I think it's like triple DES or whatever. I always call it DES. I don't know why. Has a number of properties that disqualify it according to our security definition. Each of the round keys consists purely of some of the bits selected from the cipher key. If the cipher key is 0, okay, now we're talking about attacks. I feel like it's like a whole different. Anyways, let's. DES has a number of properties that disqualify it according to. I'm just going to say disqualify it. We know the security definition. But like, it'd be nice if I could just actually, according to security definition. Because I should be able to now link to that. I'm just putting stars in play. It's a terrible idea to do stars, though. I should do a tag, right? Just like check. Yeah, that's a good idea. Start doing that instead. I need to get better at like how I organize these things. Like, just come back. or just like maybe just edit. Just remember, I just go back and add something there. I think I should add like the actual definition and everything. Each of the round keys consists purely of some of the bits selected from the cipher key. If the cipher key is 0, then all round keys are 0 as well. In particular, all the round keys are identical. Remember that the only difference between encryption and decryption is the order of the round keys, but all the round keys are 0, so encryption with the 0 key is the same as function as decryption with the 0 key. This is a very easy property to detect, and as an ideal block cipher does not have this property, it leads to an easy and efficient distinguishing attack. Distinguishing. This is what I mean, though. Like, this eventually should be edited to add a link to the distinguishing attack. Anyways, maybe I will do it. Why can't I tab complete? Distinguishing attack, which we already know what it is, when cipher key is 0, since all around keys would also be 0, and therefore would make it very and is to be 0. I think that's hopefully sorry, I'm reading. Okay. 0 this ideal block cipher doesn't have why can I never spell? Okay, what else? DES also has a complementation property that ensures that the encryption of all the keys with all the plain text, I think that's what it means, and then is equal to the encryption of what? For all keys in plain text P, where, you know, if you put the line over top, it's the value of obtaining by complementing all the bits in X. Okay, so that makes sense. In other words, if you encrypt the complementation of the plain text, so it's not all of them, it's just the complementation. Okay, so I was just talking smack. So if you encrypt the complementation of the key with the complementation of the plain text, it equals the complementation of the encryption with the key and the wait. That is not what? I'm sorry, I was reading the equation. I wasn't reading the words. If you encrypt the complement of the plain text and the ciphertext of the key, you get the complement of the original ciphertext, right? Because this is the encryption of what? Oh, a complement of the full thing. This is rather easy to see. First look at, this is crazy though, sorry, like, first look at the figure and think about what happens when you flip all the bits in L, R, and KI. The expand function merely copies bits around, so all the output bits are also flipped. The XOR with the key ki has both inputs flipped, so the output remains the same. The input to the S boxes remains the same. Okay, because you're flipping the XOR. The output of the X boxes remains the same. So the final XOR has one output that is flipped and one input that is the same. Sorry, one input that is flipped and one input that is the same. So that's why you're getting like a flipping here, and this is the same. The new L value, soon to be swapped to the R position, is therefore also flipped. In other words, if you complement L and R at the beginning of the round and complement the key for the round as well, then the output is the complement of what you had originally. So if you complement it and complement it, your output is the complement. If you put in the original, you'll get the complement, which is the ciphertext. That's not good. This property passes through the entire for. Okay, this is interesting. So that's not good. So DES also has a complementation property that I'm not going to write all of it down, but let's see how I do. Let's do basics first. E to the K P, that's not a P, equals E to the K P. And then I'm gonna have to probably do K chapeaus. So let's, oh, and then E needs one. And then let's assume, oh no, okay, wait. I might be able to wrap this entire thing. So let's see. Overline, we just call it that maybe. Or we just mark down. No, it's latex. Definitely latex. No, I need something simpler. Apparently it's just, yeah, bar. And there's like different size of bars. So bar. Oh no, see, I'm looking for overline. Yeah, see, it was just an overline. And if I do overline two things, okay, so I should be able to, for this one, just do, that's the wrong one, I think, overline, and then do that, and then do that, and see if it works. That looks ugly. Okay. And then, no, you silly. The P is what goes in the brackets, and the K is what goes in the brackets. I'm gonna do overline. Doesn't look cute, in my opinion, but it works. Where, and then like where overline X. And what is overline X again? Oops. Fine. I'll be nice. I'll be nice. For all, I should practice. Why do I keep doing that? I have 2 Chrome things and that's just not helping me right now. Did I just? No, I'm good. Latex. What am I looking for again? Latex for all. Obviously, it's for all. That makes sense. For all K of I and P. You know what? I'm trying to be like just practice, to be honest. For all keys K of I. It's not even K of I, it's just K. For all keys and plain text. Again, just trying to like practice writing it in line with what I'm reading. Where X bar, X overline is the value obtained by complementing Crazy. Kind of forgot that. I've read it a couple times and I already knew it, but I still forget instantly after I read, which is kind of why I'm enjoying taking notes, because I just forget things so quickly. We went through this already. In short, DES does not pass muster anymore. The above properties disqualify DES according to our security definition, but even ignoring the properties above, the DES key length is wholly inadequate. There have already been several successful attempts to find a DES key by simple exhaustive search, which is the worst kind of attack. It's just ciphertext only, exhaustive search, look for keys that collide, and then, you know, match things up. 3 DES or DES or whatever, triple DES, has a larger key, but it inherits both the weak keys and the complementation property from DES, each of which is enough to disqualify the cipher by our standards. It is also severely limited by its 64-bit block size, which imposes severe restrictions on the amount of data we can encrypt with a single key. Sometimes you have to use triple DES in a design for legacy reasons, but be very careful with it because of its small block size and because it does not behave like an ideal block cipher. I think one of the biggest things for me is getting a better understanding of like block sizes and key sizes. I mean, for me, key sizes, key space, expanding keys, all that makes a lot of sense. It's all very clear. It's no issues. For some reason, I have a harder time grasping like block sizes and like the data you're trying to encrypt. And like I get it, like it's just a message, and like I guess these days maybe you just expand it to more messages, or it's messages per key. Maybe there's too many keys in your system, and like maybe you don't want to be transferring so many keys. But yeah, the Advanced Encryption Standard is the U.S. government standard created to replace the ES. So advanced encryption standard US Gov standard created to replace DES. Instead of designing or commissioning a cipher, the US NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, asked for proposals from the cryptographic community. A total of 15 proposals were submitted. 5 ciphers were selected as finalists, after which Rindal, I think the J is silent, Rindal, was secured to become AES. AES became a standard in 2001. There's a lot of history there, but I kind of just want to skip all of it, to be fair. I'm just going to say became a standard in 2001. Please don't kill me for bastardizing all the history of cryptography. It's just trying to take efficient notes. AES uses a different structure than DES. It is not a functional cipher. Figure 3.2 shows a single round of AES. The subsequent rounds are similar. The plaintext comes in as 16 bytes, 128 bits at the very top. The first operation is to XOR the plaintext with 16 bytes of round key. Again, so your key is split into rounds. You still have to have a similar number of bytes going with the round key. Okay, cool. So that seems simple enough. This is shown by the XOR operators. The key bytes come into... Let's just go down a bit. The key bytes come into the side of the XORs. So I think it's trying to say we're going... a single round. I think this kind of structure confused me too as well, but that's okay. The key bytes come into the side of the boxes. I think we're talking about there. The bytes are then rearranged. Side of the XORs. Each of the 16 bytes is then used as an index into an Xbox table that maps 8 bits inputs to 8-bit outputs. The S boxes are all identical. Okay, so this time they're all identical. They just map bits to bits. The bytes are then rearranged in a specific order that looks a bit messy, but has a simple structure. So it seems like there's some basic something at the beginning that just takes some kind of basic, and then they kind of mix everything else. Maybe this is to keep some sort of consistency and then have something shift each time, because each round this is happening. So if you're shuffling things and one thing just doesn't go in with this, maybe that adds a lot of randomness. I don't know. Okay. Finally, the bytes are mixed in groups of 4 using a linear mixing function. The term linear just means that each output bit of the mixing function is the XOR of several of the input bits. Okay. There's been some confusion about the correct punch. There you go. Don't worry, it's hard to pronounce unless you speak Dutch, so just relax and pronounce it the way you'd like, or just call it AES. So I'm just going to say Rindal from now on. Rindal. Sure. We'll just do AES most of the time. So this completes a single round. So there you go. Let's try and get some actual notes about that now. Let's just keep that there. Simple enough. Is not a Del cipher. So it's not the same going both ways, and I guess that's because you have this change at the beginning, which actually confused me the first time I saw it. I actually thought this was like somehow like one round and this is the end. I don't know why, I just couldn't understand this was one round altogether, but it is one round. Things get broken up, they go through a round, they get put back together, it goes again and again and again and again. It is not a Feistel cipher. Although honestly, it's just like, okay, first of all, if I'm actually Feistl, if I have to do that twice, it needs to be added to the dictionary. Okay, honestly, again, just gonna take a picture of it because, as I said, in my opinion, I learn best, at least, copy the clipboard, oops, when I can just see the diagram, and then I have like basic notes to be like, what the heck is going on? So Fig 3.2, whoops. Fig 3.2, I probably used to bold that, but I'm kind of lazy now. Shows a, actually I already said that I'm going to stop doing that because it's obvious, it's in the picture. Subsequent rounds are similar. The plain text comes, okay, so this is the part I want to make sure I get. So the plain text P comes in as 16 bytes, 128 bits at the top. Okay, so hopefully that part, okay, very good. The first operation is to XOR. There you go. So first operation is to, was it XOR? Nope. What was it again? This is why I like practicing it, because like, no way I'm going to remember what XOR was. O plus? Oh, O plus. Oh, I'm silly. Okay. Is to XOR. Where are we? XOR the plain text. To XOR is to you're XORing P with (16 bytes of the round key. K I okay. This is shown by the XOR operators. The key bytes come in the side of the XOR. So that's right there. Each of the 16 bytes is then used as an index to an S box. So each of the 16 bytes output is used in index into an S box table that maps 8 bits to 8. And I think, whoops. I want to get these parts correct. So each of the 16-byte outputs is used in an index to an SBox table that maps 8-bit inputs to 8-bit outputs. Oh my god. The X boxes are all identical. I think that's like different. S boxes this time all identical. The bytes are then rearranged in a specific order. I guess this is the mix. Oh no. What? Oh, I think they're saying they're rearranged here. Alright, that's fine. Looks a bit messy, has structure. Clearly it has structure, can be seen. I don't like that one. Like, bytes are then rearranged. Sure, like that's fine. And then we could talk about the mix. So bytes are mixed into groups of 4. That's clear enough here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Using linear function. So it seems like the bytes are then rearranged happens like in the S box anyways. Like I don't really know. And then they're rearranged into the mix using a linear function. The term linear, okay, each output box for the mix function is the XOR. So each output box of the mixing function is the XOR of several of the input bits. I think it's like it's talking about what's happening in the mix now. But yeah, that's fine. Whoa, okay, so a lot more to do to finish AES. Okay, so this is a single round. I think so, right? Yeah. So a full encryption consists of 10 to 14 rounds, depending on key size. AES is defined for 128, 192, and 156 bit keys. Whoops. 10, 12, 14 rounds. Okay, sorry, let me check my messages real quick. There's just... Obsidian Publish getting fixed. Yeah, just some things to do for Gaming DAO, and I think I do actually have to go now. So I did not get very far. I'm still at 5.2. This is just a long chapter going through like background. Serpent is just another background, very short. Two Fish is again very short. Other AES finalists, all like this is just We're almost done. Oh yeah, 3.5 is the last. Maybe I should just finish. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm so close. 3.5 is the last one. I have to finish. Okay, let's go. This is a lot of extra stuff. Like DS, there is a key schedule that generates the necessarily round keys. But the key schedule uses a very different structure. The AES schedule has advantages and disadvantages. Each step consists of a number of operations that can be performed in parallel. A, E, S, so each step consists of a number okay, so each step consists of an operation in parallel. So this parallelism makes high-speed implementations easy. On the other hand, the decryption operations is specifically different from the encryption. On the other hand, decryption is different from encryption. And why is that important? It makes it harder to build, but you need an inverse lookup table of the Xbox, and the inverse mixing operation is different from the original mixing table. So need inverse lookup table of the Xbox and inverse mixing operation is different. Well, we can recognize some of the same functional blocks as in DES. The XORs add key material to the data, the S-boxes provide non-linearity, and the byte shuffle and mixing functions provide diffusion. AES is a very clean design with clearly separated tasks for each part of the cipher. AES has always been a fairly aggressively designed cipher. In the original presentation, the AES designers showed an attack on 6 rounds. This means that the designers knew of an attack if AES was defined to have only 6 rounds. The authors therefore chose 6 to 14 rounds for the full cipher, depending on the key size. So attack, defined, attack. What's the good word for that? Like attack defined or attack shown, attack available, attack at 6 rounds. So designers chose 10 to 14. I think it's to show like when like your protocol could be insecure with certain rounds. Just you can increase the rounds, and maybe that's okay depending on what you're trying to get out of the cipher. During the AES selection process, the attacks were improved to handle 7 rounds for 128-bit keys, 8 rounds for 192-bit keys, 9 rounds for 256-bit keys. This still left a 3 to 5 round security margin. From a different perspective, for 128-bit keys, the best attack we knew when Rinjal was selected as AEF covered 70% of the cipher. In other words, the selection of Rinjal with AES relied on the assumption that future attacks would not give large improvements. Will AES stand the test of time? Attack in 7 rounds. Attacks have improved. Let's put it that way. Until recently, the best analyzed ciphers were DES, FEAL, and IDEA. IDEA, whatever. In all cases, the attacks were significantly improved many years after the initial publication. Since then, the field has progressed, but it still takes a leap of faith to think we know it all and have and that no significant improvements in attacks will be found. In fact, at the time of this writing, they are starting to see some pretty amazing breakthroughs in the cryptanalysis of AES. One attack can break the full 12 rounds of AES with 192-bit keys using 4 related keys, and 2 to the 176 that's a lot of operations still, but yeah. And another attack can break the full 14 rounds of AES with 256-bit keys using 4 related keys and 119 2 to the 119 operations. Still a lot of operations. Another attack can break 10 of the 14 rounds of AES with 256-bit keys using 2 related keys and only 2 to the 45-bit operations. That's a lot, but again, only 14 of the rounds. These are huge results. They mean that we now know AES does not meet our definition of security for a block cipher. The attacks, so, more recent attack results show that AES does not meet strict definition of security for a block cipher either, which I think is really interesting. So when you start looking at like what does I think it's funny, like I've been doing a lot of study on like the textbooks, so starting from like the beginning, and then a lot of study on like current stuff used in Ethereum today, and like coming to the middle with it is very interesting. Like, oh, what's already been attacked and what's history, and then what's like currently being implemented, and if it gets attacked, billions of dollars are lost. And I'm excited to kind of get to the middle and kind of bridge those gaps. Okay. The attacks against the full are theoretical, so we aren't ready to lose any sleep over them just yet. But they are attacks under our definition, so 192 and 256-bit AES have theoretically been broken. Attacks on, 192-bit and 256-bit are theoretical. The community is still trying to come to grips with what the results mean for the use of AES in a real system. Given all that we know today, using AES still seems like a reasonable decision. It is the U.S. government standard, which means a great deal. Using the standard avoids a number of discussions and problems, but it is important to realize it is still possible that future cryptographic advances may uncover even more serious weaknesses. If you are developing a system or standardizing a protocol, we recommend building in some flexibility for extensibility in case you need to replace AES with another block cipher in the future. AES still, I think it's still widely used. Still used, builds for the ability to replace place block. I think that's like the key point there. It just doesn't really matter if you build with the idea that you can replace your block cipher, then hopefully it won't matter if something's not efficient. Let me just get these down. Serpent, another AES finalist. It is built like a tank. I think that's why I didn't get picked. I think the most conservative of all AES submissions. Serpent is in many ways the opposite of AES, where AES puts the emphasis on elegance and efficiency. Serpent is designed for security all the way. That's pretty cool. So maybe worth taking a look at now. The best attack we know of covers only 12 of the 32 rounds. The disadvantage of Serpent is that it is about 1/3 the speed of AES. So best, and this is a long time ago, so best known attack covers 12 32 rounds, but 1/3 the speed of AES. Again, this is a long time ago, so I feel like that's definitely not correct anymore. Anyways, the disadvantage of certain is that only 1/3 okay. It can be difficult to implement efficiently, as the S boxes have to be converted to a Boolean formula suitable for the underlying CPU. In some ways, Serpent has a similar structure to AES. It consists of 32 rounds. Each round consists of Zoring a 100. Okay, so that's kind of important. Okay, so 32 rounds. Each round take. You have each round you have 128-bit ki Zord O plus. What are we Zoring it with? Plus the P. Apply linear mixing function to the 128 bits. Apply. Trying to do somewhat full sentences, but not that that means. It's just adding a full, punctuation in. But apply 32 4-bit S boxes in parallel. In each round, the 32 S boxes are identical, but there are 8 different X boxes that are used in each round. Each round has uses identical. Each round uses each and S boxes in turn. Each round in turn. Okay. Serpent has an especially nice software implementation trick. A straightforward implementation would be very slow, as each round requires 32 Xbox lookups, and there are 32 rounds. In total, there are 1,024 S box lookups, and doing those one by one very slow. So total of 124 Xbox lookups, which is slow. The trick is to rewrite the S boxes as Boolean formulas. Trick is to write the S boxes as Boolean formulas. Each of the 4 input bits is written as a Boolean formula. Okay, so each of the 4 output bits is written as a Boolean formula of the 4 input bits. Sounds like a lot. Formula Xbox lookups, which is written as a Boolean formula of the 4 input bits. The CPU then evaluates this Boolean formula directly using the flipperjacks. Oh gosh. Okay. CPU then evaluates this Boolean formula like whatever. CPU evaluates using not that serious. The trick is that a 32-bit CPU, 32-bit CPU can evaluate 32 S-box lookups in parallel, as each bit position in the registers computes the same function, albeit on different input data. This style of implementation is called a bit slice. Called bit slice implementation. Bit slice. Let's add that. Serpent is specifically designed to be implemented in this way. The mixing phase is relatively easy to compute in a bit slice implementation. If Serpent had been as fast as Rinjal, now AES, it would almost certainly have been selected because of its conservative design, but speed is always a relative thing. When measured per encrypted byte, Serpent is nearly as fast as DES and much faster than 3EDS. It is only when Serpent is compared to another AES finalist that it seems slow. Okay, and then we have, 3.5.4 to fish. We're so close. I feel like I have to finish only because we're so close. I think fish is the left. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There's so much left. I can't finish this today. I'm going to have to finish this on Monday. I do have to go. It took me at least another hour. But yeah, getting close. So Monday, hopefully starting chapter 4, going through block cipher modes now, which, padding and there's just so much more stuff. The IV that was confusing me last time and everything, there's a lot. So I'm going to keep going through this. Also going to be going through the Coursera text because that's much quicker to go through. The note-taking and reading, it takes much longer. But toodles.